Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. Based on my research, I am 100% satisfied that Hamas is a proxy force for Israel to bring in an agenda that is an elite agenda. The same people who control Israel and America control the LGBT community, they control the churches, the mosques, the synagogues. They are a global group of people who are, people who see themselves as occultists or something immature like that, right? They're into the occult and mythology, and they basically worship money, sex, greed, and sexual sadism. Okay, so less than 60,000 Palestinians and Israelis have died since October 7th, 2023, when the conflict began, at that point of the conflict, that is. Over 25,000 people die every day from starvation and hunger-related issues. So in 3 days, that's 75,000 people. In 3 days, more people die in the world of hunger and hunger-related issues. Okay, than all the people who have died in the Israeli and Palestinian conflict. Just 3 days. In 2023, somewhere around 47,000 Americans died of gun-related issues. Gang-related homicides, homicides in general, suicides, what have you. So since 2023, more Americans have died from gun-related issues alone than people have died from the Gaza war. Now, obviously, I'm not saying to put America first. That's wrong. You have to prioritize based on moral worth, not based on what country you're from. We have no reason to believe that the people in Israel or Palestine are more moral than the average person who dies of starvation. Narcissists want you to prioritize that conflict. The conflict is serious, but there are more serious things going on. People are very immature when it comes to these issues. They like to pretend that Jews are so important and all this stuff, and that's why there's such an emphasis on it. Because Palestinians are some of the most closely related people to Jews, right? They're very closely related to them. A lot of Palestinians have been raped and given birth to Jewish children. There's various intelligence operations going on and corporate operations going on that involve planting crypto Jews in Palestine. And as a result, we see that this conflict is really emphasized. And they're also playing a sick game where they pretend that it's related to biblical prophecy. Galatians 3:28 proves that argument wrong. Galatians 4. It's Jerusalem with God that is important, not Jerusalem or Israel in this world. So people who worship the devil, who worship Mammon and Asmodeus, right? Greed, lust, worship Lucifer, pride, as they say. That's how these demons have been described in popular culture, and the West is playing a game where popular culture factors in big time. And speaking of popular culture, the devil likes to get people to make a deal with him when they're down, and then they always regret the deal. What do you call somebody who knows that's the case, who becomes a Satanist, whether they join a church, a mosque, a synagogue, or an atheist group, or a satanic group directly, what have you? When people do that, it shows they're not very smart, it shows that they're stupid. They're called idiots. They're called dumbasses. They're called cowards. And we see that everyone who doesn't obey God through me is displaying cowardice. There's a lot of controlled opposition groups that pretend that they're the answer when it comes to feeding the hungry. But that goes back to global eugenics and kill rates. They allow these people to operate, so they give those people a PR lift. They say, what characteristics do they have? Are they crypto Jews? Are they white? Are they LGBT? Are they token minorities? And they try to make people like that look good and respect. It's so fucking stupid. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. It is very sick. It's very sad that people are such sniveling worms. Not a man or woman among them. When we're talking about people outside the divine order, they're just sniveling worms. And should you praise them when they're being idiots? Should you encourage them by saying, hey man, you're successful, dude. Right on, bro. Like a bitch? Or should you tell them about themselves? Did not John the Baptist and Stephen the Martyr and Christ in the story in your book tell them about themselves? You brood of vipers. You stiff-necked people. You always screen out the righteous. You've turned things into a den of robbers. Because religion to you is just about stealing everything you can. Land, money, women, children. Recently it came out in the news that there was this massive child trafficking operation in Texas. That's not even the tip of the iceberg of what's going on here in America if you just look at it in terms of direct child abuse, in terms of group child abuse. Groups of people exploiting children sexually, abusing them. That's not even the tip of the iceberg. There was over 200 arrests, if I remember correctly. 109 children free. It might even be 400 arrests, but it's not even the tip of the iceberg. It's very sad that you people can't prioritize for the life of you. And it's not a coincidence that sparring shows prioritization big time. Dodging, blocking, kicking, punching. Which foot? Which punch? Which strike? What kind of footwork? What kind of position? What kind of stance? On and on and on. You people can't do it. I can. You people aren't fit to lead. I am.